Now, Ask Dr. Love with psychotherapist, author, love and relationship expert Jamie Turndorf, PhD.
Hello again, and welcome to Ask Dr. Love Radio. I'm Dr. Jamie Turndorf, and it's my pleasure to be with you again today. So, question for you. Are you committing bedroom blunders? Well, stick around as I pull back the covers and reveal the most common male and female bedroom blunders and how to put them behind you, if you'll pardon my pun. And I have 3 questions that I've selected out of all the many that I've received. The first one is how to ask a guy with commitment issues what he wants. And here I'm helping out a woman. She's a young woman who's afraid to broach the subject for fear of hearing that he just wants to have fun. And at the same time, she doesn't want to burn her bridges by remaining exclusive with him if he's not interested in more. So stick around to find out my simple technique for handling this sticky subject. Now, the next question that I'm going to be tackling is it's called He's Texting a Teen. Well, here I'm helping out a woman whose 32-year-old boyfriend is texting a 14-year-old. And when she confronted him about it, he just blew off her concern. So stick around to find out the real issue at stake and what she's got to do about it. And the third question is messed up. And here I'm helping out a young woman who's tried everything to win a particular guy's attention, including giving him sex when he's in a relationship with another person. So stay with me to find out my shocking recommendation for her. And, of course, later in the show, we've got to do some reading between the sheets. And this one's called I'm Weak. And I'm helping out a 32-year-old guy who says that he keeps losing partners because he can't manage a second inning. So stick around to find out the real reason why all these women are tuning him out. All right, so let's get down to today's topic, bedroom boo-boos. So do you wish your sex life were different, better, hotter? Well, I know it's easy to blame your partner for not sending you to the moon and back in bed. But maybe it's not your partner's fault that your sex life isn't taking off. You know, there are common mistakes that couples make that stop them from having a sex life that's off the charts. So don't worry, we can fix these mistakes. So let's start by talking about the common female sexual boo-boos. Mistake number 1, it's waiting for him to get things going. Now, you know, it can become a habit. He starts the ball rolling. And you respond or you don't. Or maybe you're frozen by the stereotype that guys are the ones who are supposed to make the first move and you dread being turned down so you don't hit on him. And I hear this from a lot of men who say, I hate being the one who has to decide when and if we have sex. So here's the fix. Resolve for you to take the lead. If you're shy, start by flirting or planning a dinner out. And even if you won't have sex for a while, you'll set yourself up to have a sexy moment. So you're at least initiating to get the ball rolling. And don't be angry or hurt if he's too tired or stressed to have sex, because women often do take rejection to heart. And guys just tend to figure when they get told no, well, I have a 1 in 3 chance of getting rejected. And their little head just keeps putting them in the line of fire. Okay, so be more like a guy. Mistake 2. Ignoring that guys are visual creatures. Now, what do I mean by this? There's a good reason why your guy is probably more likely to give you a gift like sexy lingerie than a handbag, because he likes how you look in it a lot. And women always tell me, but I find him hot in his old boxers. Well, they don't understand why he doesn't like women don't understand why he doesn't like your thermal chicken print pajamas. And the reason, according to research, is men respond most to visual stimuli, while women tend to use touch, sound, smell, words, and emotions to get aroused. So, what's the fix? Ditch your long johns, at least some of the nights. And you don't have to wear lace or dominatrix gear if that's not your style, but you'll do you both a favor if you pick some bedclothes that show off your body and make you feel sexy. Textures also, that are sensual, silks and satins, can help put you in the mood. Now, here's mistake 3 that women make. Having unreal ideas about how the female body works. Now, don't believe that real women have vaginal orgasms, or thanks to porn and a Sex and the City episode, that female ejaculation or squirting is the norm. Because women are convinced that it's going to enhance their experience, but only actually 5 to 6% of women ejaculate or squirt. And you can actually damage your pelvic floor muscles by trying to ejaculate. So the fix, just relax. Trying to climax a certain way only puts you on edge. And most women do need clitoral stimulation for orgasm because the clitoris is rich with nerves. Grinding against your partner, oral sex, or hand stimulation can do the job. And a nice stretch of foreplay helps many women, most women, climax. All right, mistake 4, overthinking. And I say avoid the sex Olympics and other forms of spectatoring. Now, say you worry you're taking too long to climax, or you're carefully acting out a scene from 50 Shades of Grey, or you're avoiding a position that makes your tummy jiggle. Now, if you think about how you act rather than how you feel, you're becoming an actor or a spectator rather than a lover. Now, researchers, Masters and Johnson, they're the ones who dubbed this self-monitoring spectatoring. And research shows that women who do it have fewer orgasms than women who don't, and they also fake orgasms more. So the fix: bring your focus back to something about the present, okay? Feel your partner's skin, the look on his face, how much you like feeling him inside you. Learning mindfulness meditation can also help you do this. Now, mistake number 5 that women make: over-focusing on his penis. Yeah, men like to have their penises touched, but men like women to focus on other areas of their body too, to build their desire. And too often guys say women focus right away and only on their penis. So the fix, this one's easy. Start somewhere else. Neck a while, give him a massage, play with his nipples, rub his scrotum. The whole body is an erogenous zone. So get busy with other parts of his body. Now, mistake 6: under-focusing on yourself. So you tease him, you please him, you make his sexual dreams come true. But what about you? What do you like? What do you want? And what do you fantasize about? So you're not getting a good time if you're thinking, I wish he'd move a millimeter to the left, because you're in your head again and you're not in the moment in your own body. So the fix: speak up. Better to say a little higher, a little lower. That's great. Hold it right there. Because a woman's body is complex, and a guy can't know everything about you unless you tell him. So now it's time to get down to the most common male bedroom boo-boos. Okay. Now, you know how most guys learn about sex. You're taught the basic facts of life, and then you're left to figure out your partner's sexuality and your own by trial and error. Now, obviously, experience is useful, but it isn't everything, because even guys who've had a lot of sexual experience with women make mistakes. So you don't have to learn the hard way, no pun intended. There are well-known sex educators who will tell you that there are specific mistakes that men make over and over again with women, and it's easy, once you know what these mistakes are, easy to avoid them. Okay, so mistake 1, guys, listen up. Assuming you know how to please a woman. Now, some men assume that the way they've learned to please one woman works for all women. Not so. Because with each sexual partner you've got to gain a growing body of knowledge of female bodies and female pleasure, but women's sexuality is complicated and individual, okay? So every woman's body responds in a different way to sensation, and every woman's anatomy is a little different. So what feels amazing to one woman may do nothing or even cause discomfort or outright pain to another woman. So you need to do some sexual detective work to be a sexual Sherlock Holmes, or maybe it's a Sherlock Holmes, but you know, each partner, you got to discover your partner's unique sexual fingerprint. So when it comes to intercourse, one key variable is your thrusting technique. So does she like it fast or slow, deep or shallow? Does she like to mix it up, slow and shallow at first, then fast and deep? And also, no one sex position is every woman's favorite. She may prefer a certain sex position for several reasons, and different positions allow various angles of penetration, depending on not only on her anatomy, but also on the size and shape of your penis. And differences between partners' body shape and height may make some positions better than others. And for some women, it's important to have face-to-face intimacy during intercourse. So I talk to tons of women who say, I know missionary gets a bad rap, but I really like it. And others say it's got to be from behind. So people are really across the board Very, very different when it comes to positions. Okay. Mistake 2, dudes. Let's not talk about sex. Most couples who seek counseling don't talk to each other about sex. And often that's because they don't have the words, because many people don't know or aren't comfortable using correct terms. So, for example, a guy might say vagina when he means the vulva. I remember a kid that I was treating. I said to her, when she was touching her genitals, I said, "Is your vulva hurting?" And she said, "You can't fool me. That's the name of a car." So you got to know the difference between the vulva and the vagina. So he may talk about doing it, though it's not always clear what it is. Vaginal intercourse, oral sex. So a lot of work initially for couples is just getting comfortable with the words. So it's hard for your partner to say what he or she wants sexually. If it's hard, try asking specific instead of open-ended questions. So instead of "what do you like," which is an open-ended question that doesn't get a useful answer, you can get around this sticking point by saying, "Which do you like better?" And then it's like you give a multiple choice question. And then, you don't have to write an essay. You just pick A or B. Do you like this better or that better? And many men also think they should keep quiet during sex. And usually that's just not a good thing, because there are far too many people having sex in silence in America. That's like having sex with a mime. Couples should give each other verbal cues during sex. Talk to each other and ask each other what you want. And a good way to go is to use neutral prompts like harder, slower, or right there. Same as directions you give to someone scratching your back. Ooh, a little to the left. So give really basic, clear information. You don't have to be a master of dirty talk, but dirty talk can also be fun too if everyone's on the same page about it. And if you don't like talking dirty, you can still talk sexy without being lewd. So telling her you want her can be highly arousing and get great results. But say, "I want you," not "I want it." That's the secret. So because you say "I want it," she just feels like a bullseye with a big, target in the center. So don't hold back moans, grunts, and sighs either, guys. Sounds of sex are sexy and they're a turn on. Now, here's another mistake. Taking sex out of context. Men forget that sex doesn't happen in a vacuum. A man may wonder why he's unhappy with the sex he's having and not connect with how he is and his partner, or how he and his partner are getting along. So a woman may not open up sexually with a partner if she doesn't feel safe with him emotionally. And for many women, it takes a feeling of being close and comfortable and vulnerable to let herself be explored sexually. And your relationship, your recent behavior follows you into bed with a woman. So she's still thinking about how you've been with her for the whole week before, the day before, the hour before. So remember, foreplay begins the week before when you take the trash out or don't, okay? And men also can be clueless about timing. Very often I hear women complaining, "My partner tries to initiate sex at the absolute wrong times." Always. And there's an easy fix for that. So people let us know what they want all the time, and you just have to pay attention to the cues. And a woman may literally tell you that she wants to do what she wants to do at various times of the day. And if she doesn't mention sex, that's a cue to wait. And you also have to remember that most women need more time than guys do to become aroused. And men can get aroused by a stiff wind, really. But for many women, the right time for sex would be when she isn't rushed. Okay, so let me take a brief break, and when I return, I'm going to get to bedroom boo-boo number 4. So stay with me on Ask Dr. Love Radio. Hello again, and welcome back to Ask Dr. Love Radio. Today's show, I'm talking about bedroom boo-boos, and I was talking about the boo-boos that men make. And remember, you guys, that if you don't want her shouting boo to you in bed, you better lose these boo-boos. And we were just up to mistake 4, and how fitting that this particular mistake is going to come at the time of my show where I call it Dr. Love's Quickies, because this one's called the get her done mindset. So guys think of sex like a mission. They break it down into steps: erection, foreplay, penetration, and it's all aimed at achieving the main goal, orgasm, right? Now this can be a mistake for a couple of reasons, because one is that the whole world of sexual experience, the whole world of it exists beyond the genitals, and our entire body can be utilized as erotic. And look at the whole body as a map. and conquer all the territory. Now, I know women who can have an orgasm from having their nipples played with, and there are women who love to kiss and make out, and all of that is part of sex. So another reason why it's a mistake to focus solely on orgasm is sometimes it just doesn't come about, even for men. And at those times, people can end up feeling bad about sex, and it could have been good in other ways. And some men get upset if they can't give a woman an orgasm. And I hear from women a lot that they're already putting pressure on themselves to have an orgasm, and then there's this added layer of pressure from their partner. And the women may say it's okay that they still enjoy sex without an orgasm, and they don't need to have one every time. But the guys don't believe them because they're locked into the goal-oriented, get-her-done, sex Olympics mindset. And their attitude is, get that orgasm done. Now, sex should be thought of as a circular process, like a merry-go-round. You can step on and off wherever you like, and there's no goal. There's no such thing as not finishing or failure. Okay? Now, mistake 5, guys, is I'm all she needs. Now, many women are interested in using or have used sex toys, and sex toys represent a place where men's egos get really bruised way too easily, because a man may feel threatened by a woman's use of toys if he believes his own body parts should be enough to satisfy her. And men who reject sex toys walk away from a really big opportunity to broaden their partner's pleasure. So a vibrator can deliver focused, consistent, intense stimulation that's impossible for a human to provide. And many women need that kind of stimulation to have an orgasm. And that's okay. It doesn't mean she's broken. It doesn't mean she's strange. It doesn't mean he's inadequate. So bringing toys into sex play and making toys a couple's activity is really the new paradigm. And there are also sex toys that can stimulate both partners at the same time. So embrace it. Get used to it. Go along for the ride, literally. Okay? Now here's mistake 6, guys. Ringing the doorbell. Now, most guys have a general idea of what the clitoris is and where to find it, but many guys don't know all there is to the clitoris. Now, the clitoris is not this tiny button on the outside of the body, which is what most people think. The clitoris is often described as being a wishbone-shaped organ, and much of it's inside. Now, the gland of the clitoris is the little button that you can see peeking out from the clitoral hood, and it's at the 12 o'clock position on the vulva, right? But the body of the clitoris extends under the clitoral hood, and then it bends back and branches into like 2 legs behind the labia. And below the legs are 2 bulbs of tissue that surround the urethra and the vagina. So the entire clitoris is tissue that, like a man's penis, swells with blood when a woman becomes aroused. And the whole body of the clitoris, not just the gland, is packed with nerves and is highly sensitive. And for many women, the gland is actually too sensitive to touch. And plenty of women don't want stimulation directly on the gland. It's like ringing a doorbell. So instead, they prefer stimulation on the internal body of the clitoris. And other women prefer indirect pressure or vibration that stimulates the clitoris through other areas of the vulva. And the majority of women need some clitoral stimulation to have an orgasm. And most women are not able to have an orgasm by vaginal sex alone. Remember that. So penile vaginal sex is an inefficient means of producing a female orgasm. And that's basically like engineer talk, okay? So don't think that your penis is inadequate or your technique's inadequate. Women are not built to have penile-vaginal orgasm. Now, mistake 6, compare and despair. Okay, many guys have unrealistic beliefs about how often they should be having sex based on what they believe other people are doing between the sheets. And that can make them feel bad about themselves and unhappy in the relationship. So they compare themselves to their peers, and they are convinced that everyone around them is having more sex and better sex than they are, and it's just not true. Now, how often men have sex varies greatly according to age and relationship status. And there was a survey published in 2010 by the Journal of Sexual Medicine, and that survey showed that the differences based on whether men were single, married, or had a long-term relationship other than marriage, it showed there were incredible differences based on these things, and age also mattered too. For instance, married men tend to have sex less often every decade after age 30, but that doesn't mean that their sex lives got worse as they got older, because how often you have sex may have very little to do with how satisfied you are sexually. People say we have a lot of sex, we have a little sex, but when you probe further, what constitutes a lot or a little is wildly different. So what you consider a lot or a little changes over time. Having sex twice a week might seem like a lot to you when you're single, and not so much when you're a newlywed. So, and when you have kids, or you're with your partner for a decade or more, it might seem like a lot again. So change your expectations, reframe how you think about it, frequency, and you got to acknowledge that people change, the dynamic will change, and be okay with that. Alrighty, I'm going to take a brief break, and when I come back, I'm going to lay a little piece of information on you about what you should expect as you age. Be back with you in a moment on Ask Dr. Love Radio. Hello again, and welcome back to Ask Dr. Love Radio. I'm Dr. Jamie Turndorf, and I'm talking about bedroom boo-boos, male and female. So before the break, I promised to talk to you about how your sexuality is going to change as you age. So here's what we know. Sexual pleasure and interest in sex does not decrease with age for many people. Breathe a sigh of relief. Now, older men and women can and do enjoy intimacy and pleasure through sex, as well as reaffirm their shared feelings of warmth, love, and affection. And there are even some advantages to sex at an older age, because women no longer have to worry about becoming pregnant, and lovemaking can become more intimate, sensual, and prolonged, because as guys get older, they tend to take longer to ejaculate. Now, our bodies do change as we grow older, and couples may experience some difficulties in their sex lives, and along these lines are erectile dysfunction, vaginal dryness, and low libido. Now, fortunately, there are ways to relieve each of these problems. So first, let's talk about vaginal dryness. Arousal is a very complex process in women, and as women age, they may find that they're not producing enough lubrication to ensure comfortable sex. Now, vaginal dryness is most often caused by decreasing levels of estrogen, particularly after menopause. Reduction in lubrication can cause the vagina to become less elastic, and that combined with friction can make sex uncomfortable. Now, there are two main ways to deal with vaginal dryness, and the remedy that you choose is going to depend on your lifestyle and your health history. Lubricants will add artificial lubrication, and that's the most direct remedy for vaginal dryness. But you can also consider going at the core issue by using bioidentical estriol vaginal creams, and it is said that they have very minimal systemic absorption, so you don't have to worry about the cancer and the high blood pressure and these other side effects. Now, when it comes to men, there is often an erectile dysfunction issue, but remember now, your penis is really a barometer of your overall health, because if the blood is not getting to your penis, you have to be looking at your arterial function. Do you have hardening of the arteries, clogged arteries? Your circulation isn't working as well. So don't think of your penis as, operating in a vacuum. Now, some guys are unable to achieve and maintain an erection as they age, and also some guys will take longer to achieve an erection, or their erections will be softer and less full, and when they ejaculate, it may be with less force. Now, these changes can come from, besides the decreased blood flow to the penis that I mentioned, it can be reduced testosterone levels, impaired nerve function, or erectile tissue that's become less elastic over time. Now, the leading cause of erectile dysfunction are health functions with heart disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes heading the list. So men who have also gone through prostate cancer surgery may also have difficulty achieving an erection. Now, the best way to avoid erectile dysfunction as you grow older is to live a healthy lifestyle. Don't smoke, don't drink too much, exercise regularly, eat a healthy diet, maintain a good weight. These all will reduce your chances of developing erectile function or ED. Now, men who do experience ED or erectile dysfunction, they have some options. They can use drugs like Viagra, Levitra, Cialis, but they work by widening the blood vessels inside the penis, and they make a stronger erection easier to achieve. There's also the penile injection. Men who don't respond well to the drugs might consider the injection, where they actually put the drug directly into the penis. It's a very tiny needle. it works better for men with serious health problems like diabetes. There are also mechanical devices, vacuum pumps and penile bands. They can help older men achieve and maintain an erection. And then there are also implants. Men who aren't helped by any of these previous techniques, they may want to consider surgery, and the implants are inserted and they either keep the penis permanently erect or they allow it to be inflated through the use of a pump located in the scrotum. Now, also as you age, you may be dealing with just low libido. They just lose their urge as they get older, or they may find it waning. And numerous problems related to aging can cause this, like heart disease or diabetes, depression, anxiety, reduction in the sex hormone levels in the body, the testosterone, the androgens, all these things, and medications that you may be taking for a health problem. So, a person with a low libido should certainly speak to a professional, medical professional, because your doctor may be able to switch you to a medication that doesn't affect your sex drive or help diagnose a health problem that's causing your lack of sexual interest. Because bottom line, sex is a wonderful experience to be shared and enjoyed throughout your life. So don't assume that sexual activity has to slow down just because you're getting older. Address the effects of age and keep enjoying your sexual intimacy. All right, now let me give you another little thing, because people often ask me, well, how long is sex supposed to last? Well, the minimum duration of sex, including seduction, foreplay, and intercourse, should be about 30 minutes. And anything under a half hour is just, bottom line, not satisfying to a woman. So guys, get your sex muscles in shape. And if you're not quite there yet, you can build up your sexual stamina by aiming to make each sexual encounter a few minutes longer than the one before. And research shows, believe it, they actually researched this, that the average guy lasts about 14 minutes during intercourse, but you don't have to go that long to satisfy a woman, because for every 30 minutes of sex, only 1/4 to 1/3 of the time needs to be spent on actual intercourse. So this leaves plenty of time for other things that women like, and you don't have to feel like you're being clocked and your penis is under a stopwatch. All right, let me give you some tweets on this topic. So if you don't stop overthinking, your sex life is going to be stinking. All right, and here's another. Put your head to bed for a better time in bed. And to be a sexual Venus, remember he has other bodily parts besides his penis. And don't be shoddy. Take time to discover your partner's body. And for a good sexual time, don't be silent as a mime. And your partner needs to be led, so let him know what turns you on in bed. And don't sell your sex life short by turning the act into an Olympic sport. And last but not least, stop worrying about the outcome and you'll find it easier to come. Okay, so let me get down to a couple of questions for you. This one came in, it's so hard for me to choose because I get so many questions and my heart goes out to each and every one of you. I wish that I had a clone of me so that I could answer every question that comes in. So I try to pick questions that have the broadest, most general interests so that all of you can identify with, and keep it in your memory bank. Even if the question doesn't apply to you, just store it away, because one day or another this kind of issue may come up and affect you in life, and then you'll be able to just sort of pull what I said out of your memory bank. Okay, so this question is how to ask a guy with commitment issues what he wants. Okay. Dear Dr. Love, I've been seeing a guy for 3 months now. He lives in another country though, so it's not like we see each other every other day. He's here for work regularly. I'm 25 and he's 36. And I've had commitment issues in the past and never had a serious relationship, but I don't have these issues anymore. And I really like this guy, and I want to know where he's at. I get attention when I'm at a bar by myself, and I turn every guy down because I only want to be with him. But if he's sure that he doesn't want our relationship to develop into something more, then I don't want to miss out on other experiences and maybe miss the opportunity of meeting a really nice guy. But he gets scared very easily, and I don't know how to ask how he feels. And I'm afraid that he wants to run and say, I don't want to be officially boyfriend and girlfriend now, as I think that's too soon and we need to get to know each other better. And I want to know if our relationship now is casual and fun and for him and while he's here, or if it can develop into more. So I hope you can help me. Alrighty, my dear. Your question is very clear to me. I get this kind of question have gotten this question thousands of times. Now, I hear you're reluctant to be direct with him because you're afraid to scare him off. Now, your fear that he's going to tell you that he doesn't want to be officially termed boyfriend, girlfriend is something to pay attention to, because if you're getting that vibe, there's a good chance that you're picking up where he's coming from. Now, the best thing for you to do is to just talk to him and confirm that you're right. Now, you can easily do this by lightly saying, I'm getting the sense that you aren't interested in forming a serious relationship and that you'd just like to have fun and nothing more. Am I right? Then sit back and see what he says. If he says, yeah, I only want fun, then you know that you need to keep on dating other guys. Now, if he says directly that he's not ready to be exclusive, then you can let him know that you're just going to date other guys, or you can just go out with other guys. He'll get the idea. But above all, you are absolutely right. You have to take care of yourself and keep your eye on the ball. And it's not fair for you to close down your options and behave as though you're in an exclusive relationship when he isn't on the same page as you. Okay? So good luck. I hope that he turns out to be more serious than you are thinking he is. All right. Now, here's another question that came in, and this one's really tough. It's called He's Texting a Teen. Now, hello, I need help. I've been with my boyfriend for 10 months now, and I found out this week that he's been texting a 14-year-old. He's 32 years old. I know this is very wrong. He says I'm over-exaggerating and that even though he has a girlfriend, it wouldn't stop him from talking to people even though he wouldn't. I'm very confused. I tried talking to him, but he doesn't listen. Now every time he's on his phone, I think he's texting other people. Am I overreacting? I'm really lost with all this. Please help me. Okay, first off, this guy is dismissing your feelings. And if you're upset, he should be interested in understanding why and doing what he can to make you feel better. Your red flags are flapping for a reason, because you have more than one problem here. First off, you have a guy with wandering eyes and wandering fingers. And what's a 32-year-old man texting a 14-year-old girl for anyway? I'm sure he's not texting her to discuss her homework. His behavior actually borders on pedophilia. And the fact that he's communicating with young girls is already a huge cause for concern. But even if the girl weren't underage, you have the second issue relating to the fact that he's flirting with other people and denying it. His behavior is not serious or trustworthy. He's not being honest about his actions. And plus, the fact that he dismisses you is downright hostile. Now, the real issue we need to address isn't his problem, it's yours. The fact that you haven't already taken a hike tells me that you don't love and respect yourself as much as you should. Now, I'm sure that if you did a little honest soul searching, you would realize that you are playing out what I call an old scar from your own childhood. Now, I'm betting that one or both of your parents didn't give you the proper attention, perhaps even favored one of your siblings over you, or perhaps you watched one of your parents cheating on the other. Now, if you didn't have the old scar, you wouldn't be with this man. Remember, we choose partners who repeat our worst childhood traumas, and we do this hoping to achieve what I call our happy ending, which is the resolution of the original injury. So if your parent ignored you and favored a younger sibling, you'd be drawn to a partner who doesn't pay you the right attention and favors a younger girl. See the parallel? Now, you aren't going to achieve a happy ending with this man, and I say this because he's not interested in hearing what you're saying. He's not interested in being responsive. The bottom line is, staying with him means reliving the pain of your past and re-injuring yourself. So I encourage you to read my book, Till Death Do Us Part, Unless I Kill You First. It's going to help you identify and heal your old scar. Now, you deserve much better. You deserve a guy who's all there for you, and that's how it's supposed to be. So please do the healing that I suggest and free yourself up for a much healthier love. You know, it's amazing when you think about how people stay in relationships and tolerate mistreatment. It goes so against human nature. We're born to seek pleasure and avoid pain. But if we were raised in a painful situation that becomes the norm, and we are creatures of habit, and we just go to the pain. It's normal to keep getting a black eye. It's normal to be neglected. It's normal to not feel first, but it is not normal. You're supposed to be surrounded by warm, loving people who cherish you. It's how it was supposed to be. It's how it is supposed to be. So I want this for you. I want this for everyone listening. Alrighty, let me take a brief break, and I'll be back with you in a moment on Ask Dr. Love Radio. Hello again, and welcome back to Ask Dr. Love Radio. I'm Dr. Jamie Turndorf, and I'm so happy to be with you today. Earlier in the show, I was talking about the bedroom boo-boos for men and women. If you're tuning in late, you can always see my archived and hear my archived show on Ask Dr. Love Radio. Most people listen after the fact because apparently my airtime is a time when people can't listen. They're working. They can't listen live, but we've got so many people listening after the fact, so you can tune in, catch up. And here's the question that's coming up next. It's called Messed Up. Hi, Dr. Love. I'm going to try to make it short. I started seeing a guy 4 years ago, and then he had a girlfriend, so he just had me for sex. But I really fell hard for this guy, and I did all this crazy stuff to make him like me. And then his girlfriend found out that he was seeing me behind her back, and she broke up with him. After that, we talked almost constantly for 4 years, and we have seen each other at parties and stuff like that. But he has just played me all along. And this spring, something happened, and he really seemed into me. And finally, he said stuff he never said before, and that he was falling for me. So we got together a couple of times, and then out of the blue, he texted me and said that we were better off as friends, and I just said, fine. But this weekend, I was at a party where he was, and I totally got crazy, yelling at him and saying he can't treat me this way and stuff like that. So the stupid thing is that I really, really love him, and I want him so bad. And I think that he likes me too, because why would he text me and then see me for 4 years without feeling a thing? So please, what should I do to get him back? Please help me. Okay. First of all, my heart bled when I read your letter, because you said that the guy played you all along, and the sad fact is you allowed him to do so. And from the start, you have not treated yourself with respect. You allowed him to use you for sex, all the while knowing he had a girlfriend. And then you did all kinds of crazy things to make him love you, and of course, all your efforts didn't work. When a woman degrades herself the way you have, it makes her come off as desperate and needy, which does not inspire love. Now remember, we are all hardwired to seek out mates who are the most desirable and most attractive, and this is to ensure the healthiest offspring. So when a woman chases and begs and gives it up too easily, she just comes off as hungry and needy, which is the exact opposite of desirable and attractive. Now, if you want this man, you have to first fall in love with yourself. And in my book, Make Up, Don't Break Up, I have an entire chapter that guides you step by step on how to raise what I call your personal net worth. When you feel better about yourself, you will naturally convey the right signals to him. And the signals are just going to tell him that you're desirable and attractive. Now, this isn't about playing games. It's about loving yourself more than you love him. It's about feeling in your bones that no matter how much you love this guy, you're not going to beg, plead, chase, or give him sex to try to win him away from another woman. When you feel this way about yourself, he will start chasing you if he truly has feelings for you and if he's truly capable of a relationship. Now, the only way for you to find out if his feelings are real and if he's capable is for you to do the self-work that I've outlined. Improve your self-esteem. When you feel great about yourself and you stop over-functioning, you're going to naturally exude the attractive energy that's going to make men start pursuing you right and left. And he's going to know that men are after you. And then it's going to be his job to step up to the plate and woo you and win you. Everything has to switch. The roles have to reverse. And that will come naturally when you feel better about yourself. Okay? Now, I just didn't want you to be deprived of a reading between the sheets segment today, especially today in light of our bedroom boo-boos. So let me give you this one. It's called I'm Weak, or something like that, sexual weakness. Hi, doctor. I'm 32 years old and I've been having sexual weakness for more than 6 years, and I find it difficult to make 2 rounds. and it has made me lose my female friends. Please help me. Thanks from Maurice. I am waiting. Okay, you're waiting for round 2, I think. Now listen, I don't like you saying you're weak, because just saying that is enough to get your little head down. It's a put down, literally, of your poor little penis. Now, first of all, I want you to know, every guy has what's called a refractory period. And this refers to the length of time that it takes for the body to recover and obtain another erection. Now, the refractory period can be as little as 10, 20 minutes, and as much as a week or weeks. As men age, the refractory period gets longer. Now, even if you can't get an erection again for some time, you still have 2 hands and 1 mouth. So there's no reason why you couldn't give your partners pleasure in other ways. And you are far more than just a penis. So if your partner absolutely feels the need to be penetrated again, you could also use a dildo or a vibrator. But there's a larger issue here. When you call yourself names and you put yourself down, you're sending out a message to your partners that says, I'm inadequate, I'm no good. Now, sending out this message is like putting a negative thought in their minds. If you feel weak and inadequate, they're going to think the same of you. So if you feel comfortable in your own skin, foreskin included, they will be too. So who are we kidding here? No woman in her right mind is going to dump a man because he can't get it up again immediately. Because think about all the women who stay with men who can't get it up at all. If you feel comfortable with the way your body works, so will your partners. And any woman who would leave a man because he can't get another erection immediately isn't the kind of woman you want anyway. So first, accept yourself and your plumbing. Will you please do that? And when you do, you're going to attract a woman who accepts you too. Alrighty? So now, another question came in, and since I have a few minutes, and I always want to do what I can here to help you guys out, let's see if we can get to this and squeeze another one in. It's, what is the right move? Okay, so dear Dr. Love, I was in the rain for 1.5 years, and I ended a relationship because I realized the guy didn't care. He talked to this other girl a lot, they didn't do anything, but I can't know for sure. And he hid it from me and saying that it slipped his mind. Now, I haven't met anyone from his life, like no one. None of his best friends when they were in town, not his parents, not random college friends. We're in college now, but in separate ones. He says he tried with a few of his okay friends, and that they said they didn't want to meet me. And no one wants to meet me, even though they don't know me. And he would lie to me about his academics, too. So even though he stopped talking to that girl after 3 months of me crying my eyes out and being sad over this, it doesn't matter because he just doesn't talk to anyone anymore. Or so he says. I don't know for sure. How can I? I know no one from his world. He has just become so weird, and he tells me I'm the only person he talks to. But I just can't trust him anymore. And besides doing all this crap and taking me for granted all the time, he admitted so after I kept repeatedly telling him and rationality finally touched his brain. He tells me he cares and that I'm not understanding, and how do I get over this? So he reacts like a tsunami has struck when I talk to another guy. And he just is always insecure because these 2 guys I talk to like me. And when I say I'll stop talking to them or talk less, I get, okay, you'll find another one. And I'm not that type of girl at all. He makes me sound like the one who only likes male company, which couldn't be farther from the truth. He just said he's sorry for reacting and won't say a word to me now, even if it bothers him to death. And I never prioritized anyone else above him, but he did with that girl. And I just feel so hurt and betrayed all the time I'm with him. And I don't see any truth in him anymore. And the worst part is that he's told me to give him a last chance 101 times, and I did, and he's always effed up. And finally I decided to draw the line. I saw that there wasn't a person who was trying. It was just a person barely making any effort, hoping that I would change and adjust to his nonchalant behavior, and I think I'm right. And so I ended it, and he says he'll still make an effort, and it was just the same uncaring behavior within a few days. And every time I point out a mistake, it starts with, I'm sorry, it won't happen again, and ends with, you keep finding fault, let the past go, and things will get better. So how can I let the past go when I've been so hurt? I'm not stupid that I forget everything and start afresh knowing this person has a history of not maintaining promises ever. Should I move on completely? I think I can manage that. I won't be able to trust again for sure. But I know he'll keep saying he cares, even though he doesn't do everything to show even the slightest concern. And worse, um, I just want to know what I should do to minimize the pain. I think I feel more pain than he does. He sounds pretty chilled out all the time and puts on the I have so much work voice to me often. At least I think that's what his excuse is. Well, you do not sound happy with this guy. That's obvious. He is apparently making promises and not following through. You don't trust him. You feel hurt over all the ways that he's let you down before. And apparently, the more he feels criticized by you, the more he shuts down and is unresponsive. You guys are in a cycle of blaming, counter-blaming, and nobody is hearing each other. You know, I'll never forget when Jack Canfield was on my radio show, he said something I thought was really great. When a couple is working together well, they devote themselves to being the best they can be, the most responsive they can be to each other. So, you know, he says to his wife, how can I be a 10 for you? Rate me this week. Was I a 10? And she asks him the same. And in what way could I be a 10? How can I improve? So one of the things that you might consider doing as a last-ditch effort here with him is to, instead of keep telling him what he's doing wrong, focus back on yourself and consider this, that when somebody is withholding and not giving you what you want, it's a sign of anger. It's a kind of passive aggression. It's a way of saying, you're not making me happy, so I'm not going to be responsive and attentive to you. So try to say, listen, I think that I'm not making you happy. How could I be a better girlfriend to you? By doing that, you completely revolutionize the pattern of you blaming him, making him mad, then making him feel like not giving you what you want. You then ask him how you could be better for him, and focus on giving. Don't worry about what he's giving. You focus on setting that model for you being giving. And then that encourages him to take the same tack back because he's going to feel fed by you. He's going to feel responded to. And you're going to be showing him how to do the same. And then he should naturally want to ask you, what can I do? And then you break the cycle of the blame, blame, blame and him withholding. So I think that you have a good shot at resolving it. And you know, even if you guys are too far gone and there's too much water under the bridge, it would be a very helpful exercise for you in your next relationship because you do tend to get into that pattern of blaming and making the guy just feel so criticized by you. So there you have it. Well, that's all I have for you this week on Ask Dr. Love Radio. It's been my pleasure to be with you. So what I want you to do is take to heart those bedroom boo-boos because awareness is power. You know, like when you go to AA, the first step is admitting, hi, I'm John, I'm an alcoholic. So you go to AA, you admit your problem. If you admit your bedroom boo-boos, you're on your path to fixing them. And sex is the cement that really binds you. So make your sex strong. All righty, I'm going to see you next week on Ask Dr. Love Radio. Take care.